Before we kick off this video, I want to go ahead and thank Apple Music for sponsoring this video and being able to hook me up with the Apple AirPods. Definitely, if you guys haven't already, check them out. Apple Music offers individual and family-based plans for streaming all the latest and greatest content when it comes to music, exclusive behind-the-scenes music, documentaries, making-ofs, you name it. Definitely go to apple.com and check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Also want to give a big shout out to my Uso. If you guys know what that means, that's my brother, Ralph Slikk, aka Slikk of Aloha Hype Records, and his new album, My Time No Lie, is definitely one of the most fire albums I've heard in years. So if you haven't heard this album, I'll leave a link in the description below. You need to check it out. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah, what's up everybody, it's your boy mekelkasanova. I'm coming at you with yet another video, and yes, as you can see, I am rocking the Apple AirPods actually, and thank you, big shout out to Apple for sending me and hooking the boy up with them. And so in this video, I'm going to be doing the unboxing, setup, initial impressions, and my overall review of them, and using it all over. So yeah, these are awesome devices, and I can't wait to express how amazing they are and how seamlessly they switch between Apple devices. Other than that, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date on the latest and greatest content. I'm going to feature some music in it from one of my Usos from Aloha Hype. And yeah, check me out on the Patreon channel if you want to support the channel and help it grow further. Link will also be in the description below. Without further ado, roll my intro music.
Do you wanna dance? Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come
AirPods were announced at Apple's September keynote of 2016, accompanied by a video introduction in which Jony Ive proclaimed, "We believe in a wireless future, a future where all of your devices intuitively connect. In other words, a future that goes beyond getting wires out of the way, by creating experiences that are only possible with smarter inter-device connections." The wired headphones are dead simple to use. No one can deny that they do get in the way in a material sense. We've all experienced the frustration of cords that tangle, tug, and keep us tethered to our devices, and even with the most passionate wire supporters among us are familiar with these challenges. Wireless AirPods are designed to make such issues ancient history, while simultaneously mitigating the negative trade-offs that are typically associated with Bluetooth headphones. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the specs, just because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm leaving it out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Each AirPod weighs about 0.14 ounces, or about 4 grams, and its charging case weighs about 1.34 ounces, which is about 38 grams. It uses Bluetooth and Apple's W1 chip. It holds a charge for about 5 hours roughly, and the charging case can charge it for up to 24 hours of usage. AirPods also contain upgradable firmware, although it's unknown whether the charging case is capable of receiving firmware updates on its own. Since launched, Apple has upgraded the AirPod firmware from 3.3.1 to 3.5.1. During the teardown, each AirPod earbud was found to contain a 93 milliwatt hour battery in its stem, while charging the case was found to contain a 1.52 watt hour battery. Alright, specs out there. Let's go back and get to this review. So, AirPods entered the world on the heels of a controversial decision to remove the standard headphone jack from the iPhone. Connecting wired headphones to an audio source is a decades-old practice we've all grown used to. And while this type of connection is still possible on the iPhone via a Lightning connector, AirPods represent Apple's efforts to move forward into a wireless future. Technology is at its best when its net gains make you forget about any net losses. Traditional Bluetooth headphones, for example, have done a relatively poor job at this. They're plagued by poor battery life sometimes, unstable connections, and often have high costs. So Apple's challenge with AirPods was to achieve what its competition had not, and that's to create a device whose benefits over wired earbuds greatly outweighed its drawbacks. Now, Apple's W1 chip contains what the company calls its secret sauce, which is layered on top of a traditional Bluetooth 4.1 connection. It represents the next step in letting users untether from an iPhone, though in most cases you'll probably have your iPhone on you. The AirPods W1 chip provides the freedom to leave the phone off of your person when walking short distances away, a freedom that I've so far been enjoying day after day. After some time spent with the AirPods, you know what? I believe the company succeeded. When I first opened the AirPods box, I was immediately surprised to find that the case was actually larger than I expected. Likely, this is only because my expectations had been shaped by other people's comments and other reviewers on YouTube and different journalists that the case was smaller than they expected. It still fits comfortably in my pocket as I'd hope. And truthfully, the AirPods case is still a neat little product. Besides simply looking beautiful, it's the small touches that make it unique. Magnets are employed in a delightful, infusing way, both for closing the case and securing each AirPod in place. A small metal strip on the back makes it easy to identify the front of the case from the back. And the battery charge indicator inside the case is useful as well. Overall, the AirPods case and the AirPods themselves very much follow the design aesthetics of the Apple Pencil, which is a glossy white with touches of metal and a clever use of magnets. Now, if only Apple's team could find a way to keep the glossy white finish from being such a lint and smudge magnet, I'd be very happy with that. Pairing AirPods was as easy as in Apple's initial demonstration. I opened the case, and with one tap of the connect button on my iPhone, they were paired, not just with my phone, but with my Apple Watch and my iPad too. The pairing process is a demonstration of Steve Jobs' old mantra, it just works. I was never too concerned about the possibility of AirPods not fitting in my ears also, because Apple's wired AirPods for me fit just fine. But it was good to confirm that my assumptions held true, that not only did they feel comfortable, but they also seemed substantially more snug than wired AirPods. I've never had one of them fall out. I did, however, learn the importance of taking care not to hook the AirPod stems when changing shirts. And, although I don't consider this a problem, though, I'd given up on the challenge of trying to change with wires hanging from my ears, so the AirPods allowed me to do something that I couldn't previously before. Now, Siri is accessible by double tapping on one of the AirPods. Likely you'll find the gesture a bit uncomfortable. I find myself caught in a mind dilemma from time to time when I want to invoke Siri via AirPods. Do I tap lightly and risk Siri not activating, or do I tap harder and feel a little discomfort? Maybe my ears are just sensitive, but it's hard to imagine no one at Apple recognizes this as a potential issue. Aside from the clever play-pause gesture, which is done by pulling one AirPod out and putting it back in, Siri is the only built-in interface for controlling the AirPods. You can use a separate device to control them like an Apple Watch, which is my current favorite method, but Siri is the only option otherwise. And this decision, truthfully, it makes a lot of sense, as there really isn't a room for physical buttons on the AirPods themselves. If Apple simply made AirPods bigger, they could fit controls, and I likely wouldn't be as impressed by the product if they did. Their size allows easy carrying them around in a pocketable case, and I wouldn't want to lose any of that. Unnatural as it is to repeat an activation phrase by double tapping Siri, I found that repeatedly double tapping the AirPod is no better. If anything, I found it more disappointing, not because the method of activation is worse, but because the potential for Siri in AirPods isn't being realized fully. As I said, Siri in your ear feels more intimate and personal. But that promise of more human-like interactions is frustrated by the need for repeated double taps. Oh yeah, a side note, wire-free workouts are better in every single way imaginable. No untangling like before or listening, and no accidental tugs while jogging or working out or lifting. If I see a friend, I can quickly pop an AirPod out and have a quick conversation. And there's no need for fumbling with playback controls. When I head back home, I leave my AirPods in my ears and get some chores done around the house before showering or whatever else I need to do or editing. The shower is the only place, truthfully, that I have to take these out. You may have noticed that I've gotten very close to the end of my review without answering one of the most important questions about these pair of headphones, and that is, how is the sound quality? How do they compare to the Beats X or the Sennheiser Momentum Wireless or the V-Moto Crossphase M100s or, any other pair of wireless headphones? And truthfully, here's my answer. The AirPods sound good. Certainly as good as Apple's wired AirPods, but I want to take it one step further and say that they technically sound better. Podcasts, unsurprisingly, sound very fine. I was especially impressed the first time I used AirPods to listen to music. The bass sounds exponentially better than I expected, and overall I have nothing at all negative to report about these headphones. Similar to the audio quality, I found AirPods battery life to be fine, better than expected even. That's not to say that I'm a battery expert or that I've conducted scientific tests or anything like that, but in my normal daily uses with the AirPods, they've never died on me, and I haven't had any semblance of battery anxiety. I use my AirPods when I want to use them. When I'm not using them, stick them in their case. Whenever it feels like it's been a while since I charged the case, I plug it into one of several lightning connectors at my desk or, at home. And truthfully, I'm sure at some point in the future I'll run into a scenario where I wish battery life was longer. But as it is right now, I haven't had that problem yet. So, in wrapping this review up, Apple's first wearable was the Apple Watch, which was created in part because the iPhone, amazing as it is, was getting in the way of our lives. The watch represented an effort to get technology out of the way, while at the same time bringing it physically closer to us than ever before. And as a device we wear, Apple's second major product in wearables category, the AirPods, follows in the watch's steps. Apple, truthfully, has created a device that allows greater connection with other Apple devices while simultaneously granting greater freedom from them. The end result? AirPods represent what many people love about Apple. They make possible an assortment of delightful experiences you just couldn't have any other way. And this, to me, is one of my favorite devices thus far in 2017. And it gets the Casanova seal of approval. So if you can, cop this right now. And that just about wraps up this video review and unboxing impressions of the Apple AirPods. These are definitely some amazing headphones for under $200. I can't highly recommend these enough. If you have the opportunity to get them and you got an extra $160, $170 sitting around, then definitely go ahead and cop these. These are phenomenal. Just for the simple fact that I have one pair of headphones that I can easily transition between any of my Apple devices without any type of syncing issues or anything. It's literally hit Bluetooth and then compare them. That's just about it. So I say these are a cop. These are definitely, when it comes down to my series of cop or not, this is definitely a cop. You need to go ahead and cop on these. I definitely want to give a big shout out to Aloha Hype Records and my Luso, Ralph Slikk, aka Slikk. Thank you for letting me feature your music in this video. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out his music. It's on iTunes and other platforms. Definitely go and buy this album. Don't just listen to it. Buy the whole album. Hit it on repeat. Blast it. Be banging it out of your car, your subwoofers when you're rolling down the block and you see a fine little shorty. You know what? Blast that joint. My Time No Lie. I Hustle. Any of it, because that's my Uso's album is fire. Okay, I'm just saying you need to play it. Anyway, again, thank you to Apple for these. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. If you haven't already, check out my Patreon page. And until next time, I'll see you then. Deuces while mekelkasanova is out.
Everybody drinks on me. Everybody in this bitch drink for free. Give me a whiskey double. A little bit of Jack is always trouble. And I'm feeling good, like a man with only to prove it read this wood. Next up, straight to the DJ. Tell him play whatever songs she say. Her body is a misdemeanor. Dangerous, but I